So we all talk about AI, right? But what if I told you the very idea of AI is splitting into two completely different things? On one side, you've got the AI we're all used to, the tool. But on the other, there's something new emerging called Agentic AI. Today, we're going to break down exactly what that is and why it's so much more than just a tool. It's more like a partner. To really get a handle on this, let's throw it back to high school math class. Remember those two kinds of problems? First, you had the straightforward calculation, right? Just multiply the numbers. Easy. But then you got the word problem. You had to read a whole story, figure out the context, and decide for yourself what math you even needed to do. Well, that simple difference, it's the perfect way to understand the gap between the AI we know and the agentic AI that's changing everything. You see, that first problem just needs a clear instruction. Multiply these two numbers. But the second one, it needs a much bigger, high-level goal. Figure out the answer that's hidden in this story. And that right there, that's the fundamental divide we're going to explore. AI that just follows instructions versus AI that actually pursues a goal. So let's stick with these two math problems. They're going to be our guide to understanding this massive divide in the world of AI today. Okay, so traditional AI, that's your simple multiplication problem. It's a total rule follower. Now, don't get me wrong, it's incredibly powerful for specific things, like filtering your spam, recommending a movie, you name it. But it can only do what its pre-programmed rules tell it to do. It does exactly what it's told and not a single thing more.
Agentic AI, though, that's the word problem. It's a goal seeker. You don't give it a step-by-step to-do list, you give it an objective, a mission. It has to figure out the context, deal with all the messy, uncertain stuff, and decide for itself what the best path is to actually reach that goal.
And look, this isn't just some minor technical upgrade. This fundamentally changes our relationship with technology. We're talking about a massive shift from AI as a simple tool we command to AI as a partner we can actually collaborate with. So let's just boil it down like this. Traditional AI is a reactive tool. It's like a really, really smart calculator that just waits for your command. Agentic AI, on the other hand, is a proactive partner. You give it a destination, and it takes the initiative to figure out how to get there. And this is the real headline here. This is the crucial point. We are moving away from a world where we have to give meticulous step-by-step instructions for everything into a world where we can just set a high-level goal and let the AI figure out the how. It's a huge leap. So what really truly makes an AI agentic? Well, when you break it all down, it comes down to three game-changing differences: autonomy, learning, and planning. First up, and this one is probably the biggest deal of all, autonomy. We're talking about the ability for the AI to actually operate and make its own decisions without a human micromanaging every single move. Think of it like this. A traditional AI is kind of like a puppet. It needs a human constantly pulling the strings to do anything. But an agent tech AI, it's designed from the ground up to be independent. It can sense what's going on around it and act on its own to get closer to its goal. The second key difference is all about learning. Can the system actually get better at what it does over time all by itself? Or is it just stuck with the programming it started with? See, traditional AI is basically static. The only way it gets smarter is if a human programmer literally goes in and updates its code. Agentic AI, though, is adaptive. It learns on the job, from its successes, from its failures, and it's constantly tweaking its own approach based on what's happening in real time. It actually improves all by itself. And finally, number 3 is planning. This is really about the difference between being a specialist who's great at one thing versus a strategist who can see the entire board. A traditional AI is fantastic at doing one specific, well-defined task. But an agentic AI, well, it's more like a project manager. You can give it a really complex goal, like, hey, improve our company's email campaign performance. And it can break that down into a whole sequence of smaller tasks, analyzing data, writing copy, scheduling sends, tracking results, and it does it all on its own. This table really just puts it all out there, doesn't it? I mean, look at the core function, rule-based versus goal-based. Or how about decision-making, human-directed versus autonomous? It's a complete shift across the board, from a reactive tool that we direct to a proactive partner that acts on its own. Okay, so this isn't just some academic theory. This is happening right now. Let's take a look at how agentic AI is already out there in the real world and why this matters so much today. Get a look at this number, $40 billion. This is not some niche little tech trend. We're talking about a massive, exploding market. That's the projection for the Agentic AI market by 2030. And the reason it's growing so incredibly fast is because huge companies are already using these systems to get a serious competitive edge. This isn't science fiction, it's business strategy. I mean, look at Amazon. They're using AI agents to manage their unbelievably complex supply chains in real time. Salesforce has AI that can literally act as your meeting assistant, summarizing what was said and drafting follow-up emails for you. Autodesk is using it to dream up totally new building designs. And in healthcare, it's helping find new drugs. The common thread here is that the AI isn't just doing one little thing, it's managing a whole complex system to hit a big goal.
So the trend here is pretty undeniable. The future of AI is autonomous. But, and this is a big but, giving machines this much independence, well, it's not exactly simple. It brings up some pretty serious challenges we really need to think about. As these systems get more and more independent, we're staring down some tough questions. Like, who's responsible when an autonomous agent makes a big mistake? Who is accountable? And how do we build these things so that a human can always step in and pull the plug if needed? Not to mention, just building them in the first place is incredibly complex and expensive. These are the hurdles we have to clear as we head into this new era.
You know, this quote just perfectly sums up everything we've been talking about. AI is evolving from a tool we use to a partner we collaborate with. We're not just building smarter calculators anymore. We're building collaborators. This shift from scripted bots to thinking agents really could change everything for small businesses.